me to devastation. So I study metaphysical education. I know school journey is my destination. Then you win, I have reservations. I have no time for that conversation. No ain't no games, no X, no A. When we do drop bombs, I hit the mark I ain't. And right now, I'm aiming straight for the finding win. Wake up like people and take some sleep. Or I stay asleep when I'm in the street. Either way it goes, we go get it ahead. I'm crushing egos like stolen cats. Like I keep influence my girl and man. All better get like I live my army. So I control my position is gone. You feel me? That means what's good? What's good, family? This is High Priestess Sister I call it Soul Jet. And we'll be starting Metaphysical Monday soon. Just give me a moment, you guys. And let's get the vibes started and see who's gonna be brought in. My mouth is twisted up. Let's get the vibe started and see who'll be coming in. Give me a moment though. Gotta make sure I got everything set. As a matter of fact, y'all just vibe off this music. This is from some of my projects. This is called On the Rise. And I'm gonna go ahead and just let y'all vibe off this for a second. Give me one moment. There we go. Yeah. You know I'm certified, don't act surprised. I see you looking what you're looking at. It's just all a combination of like glass. Colors go jet and businesses. We need bad feelings like shit with it. One great on the track like a ball with it. You gonna do that now? You ain't the one. Both the both circles around the game. I was 7 years old when I did this game. They been stressing me out today. Like God Almighty, I got baby names. Like baby this now. And if two means like this is all my benefits, I push the Lord. The depths of my mission be the ocean floor. If you're ready for Atlantis, the catch your fate. But my people are the only ones that give the hate. So most of the time, I spend myself. Keep dumbing down for the someone else. Uneducated by general scholars and made. The first will be the album will be educated. Crushing all systems, just follow the line. And step aside, cause I'm on the ride. I'm on the ride. I'm dignified. I'm magnified. I'm justified. I'm fortified. It's not justified. It's electrified. Still I'm sanctified. Not verified. I'm qualified. I'm satisfied. I'm electrified. It's realified. It's redefined. Still I'm on the ride. Still I'm on the ride. These breaks are making too much. We'll take some of those songs. Keep going. Okay, family, just give me one moment. I'll be starting. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get. I need a pen. I already know. Let me see. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. So tonight, family, I want to welcome in everyone who's tapped in and who will be tapped in. We're gonna continue with our series, but I'm gonna take it in a different direction tonight, you guys. I was moved to do something different that's extremely important. Okay, excuse my voice. I've been using it a lot. Okay, give me one moment. Okay, give me one moment. So tonight we're gonna be talking about something a little different. Um, this build is not for everybody. Okay, it's a lot going on. You know, these beads, honey. I gotta make sure I can see. Okay. So it's a lot going on in our world and in our community. I wanted to talk about how AI and just the way the world is being impacted in general as we rise. Okay, so as we evolve, as the world change, the ones that call themselves, some people say chosen ones. I don't really subscribe to that, but I get it. But to my star seeds and my soul jets, and those that feel called, those that feel the change. This build is for you tonight. Okay. This one is about, we were building on just giving like a basis of what is AI the devil, and just giving the background on a little bit about AI, the computer, internet, and how all of that works. We're supposed to be going into and I did another build, like a small build, and just kind of fill in what we're going next, which is the human impact that AI is bringing into the world, that will deal with our work, the work we do, the way we interact with others and in our community, and also the importance of using our discernment. So I just need you guys to just chill with me for a second and just go back to 2020, the year 2020, and things that were leading up into that time. There was like a great split during that period. We had a lot of things that were going on, a lot of political unrest, along with a pandemic. And we had even people, well, Trump, he announced that there was some type of UFO sightings over the White House while all of this stuff was going on. It was just a lot happening. I think it was a very exciting year. And then it was a time where the community came together, even though we had to socially distance. A lot of us had to pull together also. And then there was some type of a change that really happened for me in 2021. In 2020, that's the 2020 vision time. So a lot of people, I was open during that period. Even people who maybe had more of a linear or closed, a certain way of thinking, they began to broaden their mind during that period. The world began to evolve. Even some of the elders that's on code. So I'm speaking to the people on code because a lot of relationships change. During that period, we lost a lot of friends. Some people lost friends, like we lost friends in death, yes, family as well, but also vibrationally. When people began to split in the way they think in politics, some people who um, their energy of like, I'm conscious, or I'm this, or I'm that. But when push came to shove, we saw where people were really standing, and some people actually evolved during that period in a different way. Now, this isn't what this live is about tonight, but what it is about is that level of awareness that came through at that period for those that were ready to receive the downloads. And I am going to give you guys a download tonight for you to upload, or the other way around. I'm giving you an upload to download, okay? So what's going on is, when I say this live isn't for everybody, it's not because, we're all blended in right now. It's for anybody that can receive it. But what I mean is, we're about to get into, I want to start this one off tonight with crashing the family matrix and the system migration, okay? What is that? First off, I just hope everybody is in high frequency or holding their high frequency tonight. What happened was, during that period, a lot of cycles that we were stuck in began to break. Some of us moved geographically. Um, some of us, I don't know, it was just the time where the social distancing revealed a lot of things, So some people were waking up after long times. You heard things being thrown around online, like not even thrown around, but just more um it was more like trending things like narcissism and toxic families, and we just began to just hear all of these different things, and we began to see different things. I know the word can be overused and stuff like that, but at the same time, gaslighting. We just heard a lot of things being brought into the community, that it was like that period during the time when we were socially distancing and having more information coming in online more often. It was like the shift was very obvious. It was very obvious. And I'm kind of going off script right now because to break into what I want to talk about tonight, basically, we all went through frequency shifts. Okay. Some people started glitching out though. Okay, they really couldn't keep up with what was going on. So I'm talking about family patterns and systems, relationships, friendships. Some of these that we've been locked in for many years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years, for some people. And you're wondering like why you're stuck, why you're looping, why we inside of these same circumstances with these same people, right? But I want to talk about the what happens when we're trapped inside of a family geofence. Okay? Because see, waking up is not just an emotional feeling, it's actually a system upgrade. Okay, what I'm talking about, as you see me spoke on a matrix, and I've been talking about artificial intelligence. But there's also individuals who are elevating within this system, or they are waking up, or they're light, or there's a ping that is sent out in within the universe or in your community. We don't even got to go that big with it, but it is in the universe. But it's also as above, so below. So then the people around you are also beginning to feel and see this frequency shift that's within you. But we don't talk enough about what we see within them as we're shifting within this frequency, right? Sometimes just the simplest things feel like a battle. Things like peace, peace of mind, stepping and living in your purpose can become literally a war zone. Okay, so, and what I mean by the ping is when your system is upgrading, it's like sensors finally pick up glitches in people, places, and systems that you once trusted. And this could be people you trusted your whole life. Like I said, relationships from the tens and 20s years, tens and 20s of years, 30 years, friendships and, relationships that seem to be safe spaces for you at one time. So you definitely have seen it in people that you just met 2 years, 3 years, right? So I wanted to talk about the geofence right quick before I go deeper into these other things. So, what is a geofence? A geofence is an invisible boundary. Okay. In technology, it is a virtual parameter set around a location. When something crosses that line, it can trigger a response, an alert, or a restriction. And this is what I mean by the ping. It's almost like a boundary. You can only go this far, and it's the same way in technology, but also even within, how we operate in the universe, because everything is vibrating. And it's like certain things have been set to a certain vibration for so long that, especially for those of us who are walking in a certain light frequency, the ones who are star seeds, soul jets, the ones who refer to themselves as chosen ones. And I say that because, again, that's not a term that I use, but I understand it. Okay. Um, but when you decide, even like and even in the Christian faith though, anytime you decide to change, um, even in any type of thing you're doing, like if the family or the tribe is doing one thing and you decide to do something else, then of course it's going to create a shift. It's going to create a frequency shift or a trigger response or an alert, and you may begin to feel the restriction where otherwise you didn't feel it. Because at one time you felt safe within this system. Now all of a sudden it's starting to feel confusing. Okay. So when I say the family geofence or spiritual geofence, I'm using it as a metaphor. Okay. Just when something that crosses a line of these invisible boundaries that you may not have even known that were there. Okay. And so when I'm talking about the family geofence, I'm talking about the family boundaries or the boundaries, excuse me, around family systems, neighborhoods, trauma, communities, old identities, and inherited expectations. You may not be able to, again, you may not be able to see the fence, but you can definitely feel the fence, especially when you are ready to elevate or move beyond the point or the role they gave you to play. Alarms will go off. Alarms will go off. Now, are y'all with me right now? I don't know. I see somebody out there. I want to welcome you in. And I did already bless my space and everything, but I just want to send some positive vibrations and healing energy and strength, love, and light to those that are still in this spiritual war. This is spiritual warfare for those that know. For those that are in the mental war, the psychological war. See, there's a lot of that taking place as well. And see, I speak very, I'm watching my words, and that's the reason why my flow is the way it is right now, because, you know, it's going to be a mixed audience, a mixed bag of who sees this video. But I'm speaking to our videos because I'm streaming on, I'm double streaming right now. It's only going to be on Facebook for 30 days. It's going to live on YouTube. So if you guys are not already subscribed to Kolagraphy TV to be a part of the Conscious Outcast gang, the new Soul Jet family, please subscribe. It's only going to get, you know, we're going to get more deep. We get deeper with the bills once again. Next week we're supposed to be having on Ancient Angel, and Babalawo Careful will also be coming back. I just wanted to, because I didn't really, you know, since I came on a little late tonight, because like I said, that geofence is real. It's like as soon as you start to um live in your purpose, or even just elevate, like I said, when the energy starts to shift, the alarms go off and you will get pushback. You will get pushback from the environment, from your family, from your anybody that's not in alignment, when the energy is now mismatched. Well, once you guys might have been, you know, thick as thieves. And people will come and go on these live streams because, like I said, this isn't everybody cup of tea. Some people will feel liberated while others feel exposed, right? But that's not the idea. But that's how it goes sometimes. It is the idea. So anyway, the moment you try to move beyond the role or the boundary that was set, the alarms go off. Okay, so people get offended. um you'll see, notice that they may guilt trip you to keep you in these systems, right? To keep you doing the tasks, to keep you from moving ahead. And it doesn't have to be just all like, you know, just the spiritual aspect of it. It could be anything. For some people it may be going back to school. For others of you it may be changing religions or changing a way of thought or even a location. You may want to move or live somewhere else, right? And you see that you're getting pushback, you may want to eat different. They have families, excuse me, that see, they try to see the frequency biting my tongue, but they have family systems that will try and attack you even for what you choose to eat. They're offended by the food you eat, the music you listen to. You'll be surprised. It's like really crazy, you know. And if you know, you know, right? Just everything you try to do to push forward. It's like the same people that you were so good with and you put so much trust into, or just, you know, you've been good with. They start acting strange. It's a different energy. They think you acting strange though, but really they're acting differently. People start trying to humble you, question you, ask you like, what you do, you know, pulling you back in other words, trying to distract you. So a lot of you guys may have been experiencing that. Um, Others of you are the ones that will be trying to force the people into the system. Shame on you. Anyway, yeah, I'm on it tonight. I'm on that. But because you cross this invisible boundary, the geofence is what keeps people trapped in the same. Excuse me. The attack is because you cross the invisible boundary, but the geofence is what keeps people trapped in the same city year after year. Sometimes the same church. You may want to go to a different church or place of worship, or like for us conscious beings, you may want to. You may not be in the mainstream of what people think consciousness is or what it looks like. That's why I call myself in my community, we the conscious outcasts. That's the nickname for the new Soul Jet community. Because sometimes even those that pretend, or I won't say pretend, you know, those that claim to be woke, that are allegedly woke, they're sometimes the biggest gatekeepers. They're sometimes the ones that keep this foolishness going on. Truth is not the agenda. The agenda is to hold a line, right? To toe the line. So you have to really, this is where the discernment comes in. And why? How does this fit into the human impact part of AI? Also, because we're going into a new world that's already, things are already hard to identify. People are hard to identify now. You have to be able to really tap in to your spirit, into what's inside, because that's the only thing that's natural in such an unnatural world. Our food is artificial. You know, people personalities are artificial. AI is allowing, you know, this artificial images and things to be played with and tapped into in ways that we've never seen before, what they call fake deep, the fake deep videos, and just so many other things, right? We got people now that can change their whole appearance, you know, take it as it resonates, change who they are, change identities. So we're in a world where it's hard to identify sometimes what's authentic and what's not. And in days like this, it's going to only get more intense. It's going to get darker. It's going to get confusing. So it's going to get scary for some people. That's why it's so important that we're connected into our soul GPS, that we are tapped into our inner self, the higher self, the inner man. Now, some people will keep you stuck because, like when I talk about even this divide within the conscious community, because some people are just stuck on legacy consciousness. And I deal with evolution consciousness, and there's a difference there. Both are equally important, right? But see, legacy consciousness is only going to get you so far. So many people are so evolved and they already God and all of this that they can't even see the forest for the trees because they don't even want to hear anything, right? Especially if it comes from a woman, when it comes from an earth. Somebody that don't have nothing, what they feel may not be, it may trigger their manliness or whatever it is. And for the women, you see, they're gonna come in and out. And that's okay. Because I would rather people stand in truth and spirit, stand in truth in purpose, that really vibe with the frequency than to pretend, because it's a lot of people out here playing around and pretending, and that's dangerous right now. So a lot of the things that I talk about, yeah, I'm starting it here, but as I get deeper into these AI bills, I have certain things that I have came across, things that I was spiritually led to build on, that I don't even want to share in these spaces, because it's things that they're not even ready for. But there are people who are ready. I'm here to talk on code to those that are on code. There's people lost right now, people that's in my soul tribe looking for me. And I am looking for them, right? But not in that way. We don't have to go seeking and searching, because the frequency will bring us together, and that's real talk. I have people that I want to bring onto the show that we can build, on some things, but we're not going to go as deep as we could, because it's just not, we got to be careful. That's all I'm going to say. But we are going to go deep. This is a channel for the deep divers. I don't know how long I'm going to do this on Facebook, because that's a different energy, a very different energy. But shout out to those on Facebook who do support. I give thanks. I say. So let me get back into it, okay? So that geofence again is what keeps people trapped in the same groups and recycling the same scriptures, recycling the same knowledge, the same family roles, the same pain cycle, the same limited version of themselves, right? Sometimes you think you're cursed. Sometimes you think there's something wrong with you. They got people that's literally, they'll make you think you slow or you off, or something about you is offbeat and not up to code, because they benefit off you being slow. And some of us like carriers play slow. See, everybody got to play the fool sometime, right? So some of us got to play the fool in order to survive. And I understand that. I want to give a shout out to my shadow walkers, a shout out to my conscious outcasts, a shout out to all of those who had to survive, star seeds and soul jets, and even those that call themselves chosen ones that had to survive in these systems. And it's not always in the family. Sometimes your light will be the thing that awakens the keys and put other people on code. So don't be afraid to shine your light. That's what we can't do in this time, okay? Yeah, I'm on fire about it tonight. But again, in the moment when we wake up and you begin to heal, even your healing will trigger these geofences. You hear me? Even the fact that you decided to heal can offend people. That's deep, ain't it? It's deep, for real. I was about to say something else, but I don't want to get off track. Okay, so your healing, your evolution, when you begin to set boundaries, when you begin to move away or think differently, the whole system reacts. And I was talking about the systems of things here on the earth, in the earth terrain, like people on earth, groups, families, friends. But anytime you shift the way you think, the words you say, the way you move, it sends that whole response, that whole wave goes out into the whole entire universe. Okay, so be it right or wrong, when your vibration change, it is felt, right? So that's why it says that it's not always just about the things we say we want. It's literally a frequency shift within you that's taking place and will align you with different energies and misalign you with other energies. Okay. So when you see how the whole system reacts, though, that reaction is proof that the fence was there, is there. That's when you realize, that's when you start to say, like, well, dang, what's wrong with such and such? What's wrong with sis? What's wrong with mama? I thought we were good. What's wrong with daddy? I thought they supported my whatever, whatever. They always supported everything else I did. What's wrong with cousin? What's wrong with kinfolk? Right? They support it as long as it's not a threat to what the true nature of this system is, right? And like for every different families and different units is going to be different things, right? When we're talking about these games that's being played on a universal level, though, then obviously, yeah, the purpose is the same, to suppress the light, to suppress those that are moving in a different way, that are truth seekers and truth speakers, and people that are here to break the spells. Right. Okay, so let me see if there what else I wanted to go into. I don't know if they're ready for this one. Let me go into the network detection. So now I want to look at something at the network detection. Now, speaking to this in terms, since we're dealing with AI, I'm speaking this in terms like when I speak of this, you are the system, you are the computer, you are the avatar that I'm speaking to, and the network is those things and people that are all around you, right? These roles that you've been forced to play or forced to live in, forced um to loop in. So we're talking about, I wanted to talk about, though, in a literal matrix or AI sense, every soul is like a device in a giant Wi-Fi network. That's why I call it the soul GPS. It's a little deeper than that. If you guys check out my video House of the House Consciousness, it'll give you a little bit on that, and you may understand deeper of what I'm speaking to. But I've heard other people say it, but for years, once I understood the way the motion of the soul really works encased in this physical body, and you can learn that even in our Kemetic studies. Um, when you understand that the soul is this living entity already within the body that's animating the body truly, then you can understand what I mean by the soul GPS. It has its own frequency, like its own. They say we have two brains. You have a brain in your head, and then you have your internal, the gut brain, right? You have the gut brain that holds its own memory, that holds its own gifts and its own voice in a way. I say gifts because it's gifted in its own right. It understands what it wants, what it don't want, when it comes down to even your appetite. Your brain does not have to let your stomach know that something makes you feel sick. It does that for itself, right? I don't want to go too deep into that, but I'm speaking to the gut, the gut instinct. I'm speaking to the gut consciousness, okay? But that's where the soul GPS dwells, okay, and within that system. So when you look at yourself or your soul, is like this giant device on a Wi-Fi network, and it's encased in a body. So you can look at your body, like I said, like the computer or the phone, right? When you change your mind and upgrade your frequency, you are changing your IP address. Dig? See, they used to can locate you anyway with the ping through your IP address, but once you begin to shift your frequency in the way you're moving, your IP address is changing. That's how you have to, you can look at it in that way, right? So here's how that universal shift works for, this is how the universal shift will work. It's like once you change, everything around you change. And that's not just some modern day talk or trendy things. That's taught in E5, in the Yoruba African traditional religion. When you change, everything around you will change. That includes people, locations, and places, right? But we have to be very mindful those that are walking in this frequency, because they are coming for us. That's why even on Facebook and all of these certain sites. And when I say coming for us, I don't mean that we under attack, because we know we under attack, but not in a sense. If you move the way you need to move on code, then there's nothing they can really do, because it's a change of the IP address. But when you speaking outwardly into spaces like this, where you're in a mixed company of frequencies, then you have to be very mindful, because everybody that even dressed like you, wearing the beads, the ankhs, the church hats, whatever you into, right? Whatever you into, everybody that may appear to be like you aren't like you. And when I say the church hats, because they got certain star seeds that still go to church. They still connected in that frequency, because they haven't had that opportunity yet, or they haven't had the call yet, or they don't even know how, because the system has had such a hold on them they can't even get out of the system. They feel afraid to get out of it. It's like a no-brainer. Like, they can see different things, but they continue, and that's okay. And they continue to stay in the system. I say that's okay, because once you get what you need to get, then you're gonna move the way you need to move. And if you still need to get something from that, then you're gonna stay in that space. And I say Christianity because that's my background, and also early on. But early on, I also went into metaphysics and African spirituality, a priestesshood, into a few actually. Um, and I don't want to lead with that. That's why I removed it off my page. I don't want to lead with that, because sometimes that makes people feel away when they realize, oh, she's a high priestess. Yeah, but I want to be relatable, and I want everyone to, anybody that's in my family, to know that we are all in this together in this digital family. I want people to know that it's not. I am what I am, but we all are what we are, right? But what I am first is a soul, without all of the titles, without anything else. I'm a living soul, and we are here. We're all living souls, but some people are not on the soul jet frequency though. They're still encased and locked into the script that has been written, right? But anyway, let me take a sip, and we're gonna continue with the network detection. Sometime even on internet, there'll be people that you deleted off your page, or they might have deleted you, and you can still catch a glimpse of that profile page, especially on Instagram. That's a form of something glitching in, or a ping, right? They'll have people that haven't called you or haven't dealt with you in however long, right? Let me slow down a little bit. But when they see you shifting, I mean, even people that, again, that have not dealt with you in years, in months, in weeks, but then they see you shifting, and here they come with the boundary. Here they come with the gate. Here it comes. The geofence is activated, and this geofence is like, is invisible, but you can feel it. You can feel it when you are speaking proudly of your accomplishments. You can feel it when they give you the weird looks. They're not clapping or happy for you. Some pretend, and others are just outright ugly. When you got family and friends all in your face, but they can't even give you a like. Something that's effortless, that is just a like. They won't even like your content. They won't even like your pictures, even something that your child is doing, because it affects or upsets, whatever they got going on up there. Because some of it just don't make sense. Now, this can happen even if you're not on totally different frequencies. You can still be within in these units, and people can still show that type of hate. But that's when it becomes toxic, because you'll be thinking that's some normal stuff, like, oh, that's just such and such being such and such. But in real life, no, that's not it. Because these are people outwardly showing you that they're not going to support your growth. They're not going to support um anything that supports your changes in life, that takes you to, your glow up, as they say. Now, and what's crazy about that is, it could be something, I don't know. It just depends on where the tribe is. Everybody tribe, everybody community, they are on different frequencies. So whatever the main, what the main thought is, or the main person, is always this one person that write the rules, or these group of people before you were even born, where these things are already set in place. Whether it's the matriarch of the family, and a lot of times it is the matriarch. Sometimes it's the patriarch of the family, or it's a group of siblings, or a group of elders, or however that rock, even in, like I said, church spaces, it's hierarchies and stuff that already make these rules. And let me talk about this glitch, because you'll like this. It was a time where, I mean, imagine this. You'll be really thinking you on the same page with people, right? It could be your lover. It could be your family. It's kind of like probably how Harriet Tubman felt when she's ready to leave the plantation, and she like, she leaving, and her own husband ready to turn her in, right? Her own husband. He was the glitch in her matrix. You get what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because you'll be really thinking you on point with somebody, like people really tribed up with. Y'all didn't have long discussions. Y'all didn't did the knowledge. Y'all didn't had heavy bills, whatever it is. Just broke bread together, and it seemed like you guys were on the same frequency, right? But that moment when they glitch, it's very jarring. In some cases it's shocking. In some cases it's like it's it feels like betrayal almost. Like, damn, were they pretending the whole time? Or, how did I hit this? Or, sometimes it's because you finally hit something that exposes who they really are, right? I hope I'm making sense to you guys. I know I'm talking fast because that Mercury is Mercury and I'm a Virgo. But so basically, the ping, how they know. So how do people know when you're starting to change? I told you some of these people are not even in our lives anymore. Some of these people are in our lives, but you're gray rocking them in a way, meaning not telling them much, staying out the way, or things like that. Um, Hope I'm not talking too loud. I always want to make sure I'm projecting so people can hear me. But I'm gonna just I feel like I'm talking too a little loud, so I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Okay. So when we start waking up and the energy starts vibrating at a higher speed, even if you don't say the word again, the system sends out a ping. It's just like, like you checking in on internet, on your social media pages or something, right? The people around you are the sleepers or the adversaries. They can feel the shift in the air. And this is why they'll hurry up and try to come back. Or you may notice like somebody that never likes your content. They're never happy for you. All of a sudden they leaving a comment on your page, or they're triggered by something you saying, or they may even say something like, I see you, girl. I've been doing this for the last 3 years. I hope you do see me, right? I'm just saying, it's I see you, I see you doing your thing, dude, or whatever it is, however it goes for whoever. But they can definitely feel the shift in the air. It's kind of like when a dog hears a dog whistle on a high frequency. You can't see it, but you can feel it. It's humans can't hear it, but it's like but other dogs can hear it, right? Yeah, it's crazy. And that's how it becomes with you. They can't hear your frequency sometime anymore, because now that the vibration is shifted, they're no longer on the frequency that or can hear the frequency that you're speaking. They can't hear your language. They don't understand the words that's coming out of your mouth or your thoughts. Sometimes it's just a simple, again, a conversation that'll reveal people. So when I was in this, Metaphysical Monday, when I was still in season, I guess the end of season one, um, no, it was season two. It was season two. It was a lot of things that happened, you guys, and that's why, again, I had to take a break, and I'm coming back now. But it was a lot of things that took place that I couldn't believe how people. It started in the 2020 vision energy, like I said, going back to 2020. This is when the split first started happening. I mean, I want to go deeper, but I want to just stick into the frame of where we are, because I will be going deeper, because we're going to be building on whew, psychological warfare also in our next one. And yeah, it's going to get a little bit deeper, because I want the true star seeds and soul jets to be able to recognize and stay on code, so that they can wake up. There are so many people that is still sleeping, or they don't know how to get out of this loop, right? So so the people around you, they don't know what changed, they just know something changed. They know you're not responding to those same old commands. You may be healing and not reacting anymore, whether it's an ex-boyfriend or the family member that makes the negative comment like, "Ooh, you sure gained some weight, girl," or "Ooh, something about you different," or "Oh, you losing too much weight," whatever it is, or you eating all that weird food, or you into that weird stuff and messing with them tarot cards, or you reading those weird ass books, whatever it is. They notice that it's a shift in the way you're moving, and you don't respond. You don't even get mad at the insults anymore. You don't even get mad at the jabs anymore. Whatever it is, it's a shift, right? So then the other thing I want to get into is the mirror glitch, reality sinking, and that's kind of what I was talking about. The mirror glitch is when you change your mind again, the universe changes. When we change, everything around us change. So this is called the real time rendering, because see, reality is well, some of us believe that a reality is a simulation built on observation. So when you shift your internal frequency, the world has to re-render around you. That's just how it go, because everything is vibrating, right? Um, Now the glitch. When I speak to the glitches, we begin to see glitches. It's almost like it could be in public spaces, or even within our family or friend circles, sometime in our relationships. Like, I'm sitting here, in one of my relationships that with a friend, or a very close person to me, when I began to talk about certain um, breaking certain systems, or ways of thinking within our Black community. I'm expecting this person, because they led with such a, I'm a man of honor, and such a, um, I'm all about the people, and I want our people to elevate. But what I realized is a lot of this old way of thinking, they don't want you to elevate. They want you to rotate. Okay, hear me good. They don't want you to elevate. They're not interested in elevation. They're interested in rotation. Where they become the hero, where they become the savior, where they're the only source, no one else, right? Because and when you start to speak of, all I can speak of is survival and sustainability for the Black people, survival and sustainability. But when you start speaking to progress, when you start speaking to thriving, not just survival. When you stop playing the survival tape, the poor righteous teacher tape, and oh, the white man got us down tape, then it becomes a problem, because you no longer fit into this box that they want to. What we need, these saviors. When you learn that you can save yourself, and especially anybody that's not teaching you how to be self-determinant, and nobody's not teaching you how. Even me as a spiritual teacher, I don't expect the students that I've had over the last 25 years to stick with me forever. I don't expect the same people in my digital community to necessarily build with me forever. I build with other priestesses, priests, teachers, thinkers, and people from different walks of life all together. But you know, we are together for as long as we can vibrate in that same energetic field. And when it ends, right? But the point is, I don't want to go too deep into that, because I don't want this to be controversial, but it's very painful, because I realize that everybody don't have our interests are in us growing. You're good. And that's why I ended up leaving, I have to leave the church and religion, because you're good long as you're waiting on somebody to save you, but it's not teaching you how to elevate yourself, how to move beyond what they say you can move beyond. You have to always have a mediator to become, right? So I'm gonna just leave that there. But again, once you start talking that kind of talk like I'm talking, and the talk like you may be talking that's different from what's in this geofence, then you begin to see the glitches. They give you the face. They look at you different. It's like a person that you thought you knew, their whole face just changed. And sometimes the face will stay the same, but the eyes, the energy is coming from the eyes, Um, And many times we know, but we will stay in this space so we don't upset, or to survive. But I'm telling you now, if we're not doing survival and and sustainability no more. We're gonna sustain, we're gonna survive, but that's not the only thing we're living for. Okay, we're living for progress and elevation. And again, I'm talking to the star seeds, I'm talking to the soul jets, I'm talking to the ones that's operating at that level of awareness, that's ready to go deeper, right? So I'm just throwing some things out there tonight. It's a lot more to build on, but I'm gonna go ahead and get through this so we can. I don't want the live to be too long, okay? So when you see the glitches in the people, it's almost like they're blanking out, almost like fading out. And in some cases, literally energetically shrinking. You can see the change like a spark or something. For those that know. For those that know, okay? But the system is basically what's happening is the system is struggling to keep up with your new faster vibration. They're struggling. They don't even relate to you anymore. They don't even know what you're talking about. It's like you on a whole nother planet. The same person I'm talking about, he was like, he said, "Yeah, I don't want to reveal his zodiac sign because that's gonna, that's too much." But he was like, "Yeah, because he's air. When you talk, I'll be up here. I'm air, and your thoughts be like right here, and they don't always land because you're Earth. Oh, is that what it is? Are you just glitching?" Anyway, gotta make it fun, right? Anyway, so the system is literally struggling to keep up with this faster vibration that you're on. It's like trying to play a 4K video on a 1990s monitor. Like when you stick in one of them game consoles that's outdated and stuff, and you looking at this stuff like, damn, did we ever play that? Did people really play this? Yeah, we did. Like Atari. Or even Nintendo. Even games have upgraded so much that it doesn't even look the same. When I used to see my son play his games, I used to be like, damn, this is like a movie. It was nothing like the stuff I grew up to, right? But anyway, so the beasts around you begin to lag, flicker. They begin to, what we call it when the wheel is rotating, they begin to I can't think of what it is. When we watching a video and it start in the circle come on there and it start moving around, and I can't think of what it is. But that's a form of lagging. So because they can't process the new code that you on, they can't even keep up with the frequency. But that doesn't mean that you have to destroy, change, or be drugged down to the old frequency. It just means that now you may have to not may have to, if you have to remove yourself from the frequency eventually. Everybody's not in the position to, but when you're not, they're going to give you pushback. They're going to give you um you're gonna feel that boundary hard. It's like you feel it even harder because they're gonna beat you down, beat you back down into the system, beat you down with their words, beat you down with the insults. And I'm really speaking to young people too. If anybody, even young people, tap into this video. Some of you guys that can't leave your family house and you wondering why, you thinking it's good. Don't get comfortable. Don't get so comfortable that you allow yourself your obedience to be purchased. You at some point, even as you're maturing and growing up, you have to get out of your family house. Even if we got to go back there, there's times I have to definitely go back to my mom and my dad. Well, not my dad, but to other family members, perhaps, right? No, my dad has helped me. I'm not gonna, I never went back there because that dynamic doesn't work. But I will say this: I did go when I was pregnant. My stepmom and my dad actually, when I had my baby, I did spend a couple weeks over there. It's a different circumstance, but you have to get out of that frequency, you guys. I don't care if it's a relationship or just a city that don't give you anything, because like again they recognize the frequency shift, so it's going to come for you. Okay, so anyway, I got two more points to bring up and then we'll go ahead and close out. There's the sentinel effect. Okay, so targeting the waking. The reason they know you're waking up is because you stop being invisible data. You know, when you fell in the back, when you're the doormat, when you fit comfortably into the role, when they know that you distracted. For some people, it's you may be a person that's, under the influence a lot, drinking, high, doing whatever kind of drugs, or you may stay in depression, or you have other distractions, whatever that is. You may work a lot. You working so much that you don't even realize what you're a part of. Or so it's like when you're invisible data, they can read it. But now, as long as you're sleeping, you're just background noise. They can always keep you in your place, right? But the second you become a bright signal, the adversaries act as sentinels. That's when we talk about the monitoring spirits and stuff, right? Their job is to patrol your frequency. That's what we're talking about, the flying monkeys, who are whose loyalty belongs to the leader, or the high in the hierarchy belongs to the person who's at that top, or the people that are at the top of that hierarchy. And don't get it twisted, because it can get volatile. There's people that literally have to fight their way, physically fight their way out of toxic environments, because they will not allow it. And if you think I'm lying, check out that movie from 1972 called Black Girl. I mean, it was crazy. She literally had sisters that wanted to do all that they could, not only to destroy her, but anybody that's bringing in light, so she could get out of the ghetto frequency and vibration they was on. And when I say ghetto, it was in those days where they were living and, living in poverty and stuff. But it ain't nothing wrong with being from the ghetto. Or, I'm from the hood myself, but what I'm speaking to is still that mindset, that crab in a bucket, or the crab in a barrel mindset, that this unit will keep you in. Period. Okay. So again, their job is to patrol your frequency, to drag you back down to 10th Street. It's kind of like they play the same role. Honestly, they play the same role that the people on the plantation played as overseers. They monitoring spirits. They not for your elevation. They see you running, they about to go snitch on you, right? They not anyway. Anyway, if you know, you know. But the goal is to keep you asleep. And I mean, and it is the same thing with, no offense to the men out there, and even to the women that uphold certain mindsets and systems, but they even do it to spiritual people. Definitely the spiritual people. That's what I'm talking about. They do it to intelligent people. They do it to positive people. They want to keep you into this miserable loop. As soon as they see you elevating and shifting, they got to tell you, oh, we're in the last days. Oh, the devil coming for you, all of that. AI is the devil. And I mean, it's not that AI is the devil, but again, it's the energies or people that we have to watch that are operating at a level to keep you stuck in a certain illusion, in a certain belief, so you don't reach higher. And I don't really get it. Well, I do get it. I was gonna say, I don't know why somebody would want to gatekeep, because they benefit from it. They benefit from it. Ashay, talking about even in family systems, they benefit from it. Your own mama and daddy will sell you out for an abusive spouse. You hear me? We see it every day. Your own mama and daddy will sell you out for their husband or wife when they know you're not being treated right. We see it every day. We see it every day, up and down, even our timelines. We see it in families. Your own sister. We seen it. I mean, shout out to Scarface, but even with Glorilla and Brorilla. It's this is how people are moving. Glorilla got out of a frequency. That's a perfect example. Nobody wanted to help her but the few that she blesses did not want to help her to get to the next level. But once she's at the level, they want to do all they can to either destroy, to stop, or to benefit from her light. Okay? So let me go ahead and finish this out. The universe is a mirror. So again, when we change our mind, you changing your internal code. When you change your mind is your internal code, excuse me. If you change your mind or your internal code, the mirror has to show you a different reflection. If the people around you can't reflect your new light, you heard me? Let me go again. The universe is a mirror. If you change your mind, your internal code, the mirror has to show you a different reflection. If the people around you can't reflect your new light, in that mirror, they will either glitch out, and that means get weird or aggressive, or they drop off. They get deleted from your life, or they hide from you. They can't even be in your energy, right? So I'm gonna close on this. Don't be surprised when they start acting crazy right when you're feeling your best. You didn't do anything wrong. You just upgraded your frequency. And their system is throwing an incompatibility error. It's like an error, It makes the sound, It sends off an alarm. And you're gonna see this more and more, you guys. I want to go deeper into this because I don't know if I hit all of the points tonight. Um, but I will, because the more you stay attached to the soul GPS, the more you will be able to recognize. Okay. So they see you waking up. You know why they see us waking up? Because you were literally glowing in the dark. You were glowing in the dark. Glowing in the dark. So I want y'all to protect yourselves. I got some other heavy bills coming up. I need to follow up with my guests for next week. And I'm gonna be doing that tonight, tomorrow, just so I can make sure I get these flyers out on time so you guys can see. We're supposed to be building on astrology. Um, and he got some other stuff that we may tap on too. So you guys stay tuned for that. I want to thank you guys for watching Metaphysical Monday. I will hope you guys to please give me a like and subscribe if you like what you hear. If you support Soul Jet community, hit like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. Yeah, let me see. Anything else that I forgot? See if there's anything else I wanted to get into. I think that's it. I really do. Yeah, I may close with a song. If y'all anybody have any questions, concerns, want to say anything, anybody that want to support this channel, donate, again, subscribe, like. My Cash App is at the bottom for anybody that just want to build. It's free to just tap in and join with us. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and close out here. And you guys be cool and stay tuned for next week. I share love and light. Peace.